The Philippines is an archipelago or string of more than 7,600 islands in southeastern Asia between the South China Sea and the Pacific Ocean. The three main islands are Luzon from the north, Visayas and Mindanao in the south. The Philippines' population is estimated at more than 110 million people, which ranks number 13 in the list of countries by population. The land area is about 300,000 square kilometers. It is the only country in Southeast Asia that is predominantly Christian, where about 80% Roman Catholic, 14% other Christian religions, and of 6% Muslim. Proportion of 4 Filipinos was estimated at 16.6%, with high incidence of poverty. The country's per capita of gross domestic product at approximately $3,800 per annum. Currently, there are ecclesias already established in the Philippines. From the northern part of the country, Bangi of Ilocos Norte, Baguio of Mountain Province, San Mateo of Isabela Province, Bayambang, Santa Barbara, Bugalion of Pangasinan Province, Talavera of Nueva Ecija, Tangkarang Mayantok of Tarlac City, Balanga City of Bataan, Quezon City, Pasig City of Metro Manila, Cabuyao of Laguna Province, Labo and Tulay na Lupa of the Bicol Region, Argao of Cebu in the Visayas, Bacolod City of Negros Oriental, Candihay of the Province of Bohol, Cagayan de Oro City of Misamis Oriental, Mailag of Valencia City, Kalilangan of Province of Bukidnon, Kilikili of Lanao del Sur. In 1957, the seed is sown through an American sister working in the U.S. Embassy who visits Dagupan City with her son and distributes leaflets. Through a discarded leaflet is picked up by Pedro Jimeno, a lay preacher in the Philadelphians. Pedro is impressed and writes Sister Banta in the U.S. who together with Brother Alvin Brittle corresponds with Pedro and has him baptized. Brother Pedro works as a door-to-door salesman in Pangasinan and uses his trade to preach the gospel in the region. Newlyweds Brother Ron and Betty Herman spend 6 months supporting Brother Pedro in preaching and many are baptized. In 1961, the truth spreads to Bacolod to Brother Abdon Baflor, and in 1966 to Brother Pablo Diaz of Cebu. It was then supported by a number of visits by Brother Arthur Clark. On 1967, a brother from Pangasinan in the name of Brother Nemesio Honyo was baptized by Brother Jimeno in 1963, took up a government land grant in central Mindanao, and moved with his wife and family to Kilikili in the province of Lanao del Sur. A keen Bible student and preacher, he baptized my grandfather, Brother Anastasio Bendiola, and Brother Candido Damaso, among others. On 1968, the Iglesia in Kilikili has 16 members. Brother Honyo's wife dies of TB and he returns to Luzon, leaving the work in the hands of Brother Damaso and Binjola. Though not a fluent preacher, Brother Damaso lives and breathes the gospel. No one enters his house without hearing the gospel message. He constructed a small house on the side of his house to house the growing ecclesia. By the 1980s, The Ecclesia numbers over 40 members. Meanwhile, in 1968, the truth spreads to the capital city of the country, Metro Manila, during a 4-month visit by Brother Philip Kenny from Victoria. Brother Arsenio Manzano was baptized and becomes an avid proponent of the truth. He owned a store in the market where he uses his spare time to translate the truth work such as Elpis Israel and Christendom Astray into local dialects. A superb orator and polished debater, he preaches the gospel every night in the city Plaza Miranda, attracting a number to the truth. With the support of the ECBM, he also regularly visits contacts throughout the Philippines, further expanding the acceptance of the gospel. In 1974, Brother Pedro Jimeno, the pioneer of the truth in the Philippines, dies. His gravestone testifies to his faith, a Christadelphian hoping for the resurrection of the dead. However, his son Brother Rodolfo Jimeno took up his father's work. Brother Rodolfo is the brother of Sister Priscilla Rosser and has visited Australia on several occasions. An English professor at a state university, he spends every weekend over the next 30 years traveling throughout Luzon and farther afield to preach the gospel and support the growing Ecclesia. The truth spreads to Santa Barbara, Tangkarang, Bugalyon, Baguio, and Lawag as a result of his work. Bayambang becomes the focal point for the truth work in the Philippines, and an ecclesial hall and office are built there with the help from the ECBM. Brethren Basil McClure, Bob Wheaton, and Mazzelli from Australia undertook several trips to supervise hall building projects in Luzon. In 1975, a Brother Pedro Lostre, who was baptized in Mindanao, relocates to Camarines Norte and preaches the truth there. Brother Vicente Valenzuela is converted and takes up the work. Once again, his house becomes a life stand for the truth in the area. In 1984, Muslim insurgency in central Mindanao results in 60 members fleeing to set up a light stand in Mailag, Valencia City, thus spreading the gospel message in the island. Today we have large ecclesias in Cagayan de Oro, Bukidnon, and Lanao del Sur. Meanwhile, two brothers in the flesh, Brother Reggie and Brother Carmelo Lavares, converts of Brother Manzano in Manila, retire and relocate to Bayambang, dedicating the remaining years supporting the work in translation, preaching Sunday school, and pastoral work. Today, there are over 700 brethren and sisters scattered throughout the Philippines in 24 ecclesias. Some are third-generation Christadelphians. There are many stories of dedication, tenacity, and commitment to the truth that can be told of faithful brethren and sisters who endured persecution, deprivations, and hardship to spread the gospel and encourage their fellow pilgrims in upholding the truth. The work continues with the Father's blessing, and it is gratifying to see the grandchildren of our pioneers taking up the challenge to spread the gospel despite the challenges of increasing godlessness, poverty, and corruption in our society.